Bucko, mighty Bucko, hello, and welcome to you all. Here we are again on Marty Bucko, and thanks for joining me. The title of this one, Friends. And I'm not talking about that TV series going back a few years, which I never actually got into, although I watched a bit of it. And I'm sure they all were good friends as well. Maybe some of you remember that. But I sometimes get how my talks come together. Something is said, or I have a thought on a particular theme, or something is said by someone, and I begin thinking on it, and then something develops. So this one began. Well, it follows on. Actually, it's strange, isn't it? With in the curry house, I began with friends, Romans, countrymen, free men. Remember? And a few days back, me and Janie, we had our little Mila, grandchild, with the brittle bones, and she loves coming to visit Nana Jane and Grandad Mark, and we spend time with her and play with her, and she'll say, "Come on, let's go upstairs and get the toys out." And so we did. We were sitting there in the back bedroom and we had toys out, and I was setting she had all these little Barbie dolls. Jane got them in a charity shop. She gets them if they're in reasonable condition, and she cleans them, gives them a right good clean, and sometimes makes up new clothes and stuff to put on them, and they look like brand new. Anyway, putting them all out, sitting them all there. There were loads of them. And she says to me and Jane, and she says, "These are my friends." And that started it, really. That started the thought on friends. Yeah. And she meant it. Who's this one? This is so-and-so, and this one. Yeah. And do you remember when you were a little one at primary school or infant school, and you'd say to other children, and they'd say to you, "Do you want to be my friend? Can I be your friend?" "Yes," we'd say. "Yes." "Yeah, and that means you're right. We'll play together in the playground on break. Come on, this is my new friend," they'd say. And of course, whether you're a little one, or a teenager, young person, middle-aged, or older, people appreciate friends. And friends incorporates a number of things. It's a bit deeper than casual acquaintance. You know this person, you know who they are, you know probably where they work, and it's hello, if you say, "Yeah, how are you? Yeah, you all right? Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, how's the job doing? Yeah, everyone okay in there? Yes, okay, take care." Yeah, more of an acquaintance. You know the person, but it's not very deep. And then for friends, it goes deeper. You'll meet them and it's either a big handshake, hug, yeah, you're right, yeah, and you start sharing something of your heart, deeper, things that you don't talk about with people on the peripheries, because they're your friends. And even people that you may not think, well, I'm necessarily that deep a friend of this person, but if you show people kindness and compassion, they see you in a different way. I think of an illustration of my friend. Yes, he was a friend. He was this is going back to the mid-80s on Leicester Market, running a store, and there was an Indian gentleman called, I can't remember his real Indian name, but he was referred to as John. Everyone referred to him as John. And he had a stroke, right? And he had a walking stick, and he'd walk along and he'd be limping, because you know what it's like when the arm goes like that and one side is paralysed and he's limping like that. And I'd seen him in a church meeting. He'd come along because he lived down the part of Leicester where I was. And he comes through the market and we get talking, and so you encourage him. Come on, you want to, yeah, John, come and stand here in the side of the, entrance of the store. Bowls of bananas, this, that and the other, 50p a bowl. Come on, we'll sort out something for you at the end of the day. Per the bowl, 50, he'd shout and get into it. And this would go on, and he had a little job and he had a bit of money, and we'd give him food and stuff as well. And he'd say, you have to come to my house, he says, one day I'll do a curry for you. Yes, I say, that'll be great, John. And we did. A few times I went round. And of course, he was by himself. He had family like that, whatever reason, I don't know where his wife was, but he had a lad and that. But the house was a bit of a tip because he couldn't really look after it properly. And I just think, well, it's a bit of a mess. I'm not going to worry about the hygiene. I'm just going to give thanks for the food and eat it, which I did. And I enjoyed the curry. He did make a good curry. Yeah, he really did. But he would say to people in reference to Marty, he's my friend. Yeah. Show him a bit of compassion, bit of love, bit of concern. Take an interest in him. That's it. People love it. It's true. It's absolutely right. So, where are we? Yeah. Now, through everything that's gone on the last 2 years, it's been a lesson in, it's just been a classroom lesson in life, hasn't it? Those who have gone along with the government narrative and those who have stood and saw what's going on and opposed and been concerned and have stood against all of this. And we've been thrown together. And I tell you what, it's been the most unusual thing, really, because you end up with all these people who normally, naturally, you wouldn't have anything necessarily in common, but you've been brought together. And you know what? Those that you've connected with, like, as I said, my tribe in the curry house, and others, it goes bigger than the curry house. Those watching may think, well, I'm just, I'm watching in spirit. But if you were there, you'd walk up and join us, and I don't know if we'd have a big enough restaurant. But, and you know what? In these 2 years, there's been no fallouts. I can't think any arguments. I can't think any upsets. I can't think of people falling out. I can't. There may be a differing of a view on a certain thing or this, that or the other, but it's all very nice. And I think we've made friends for life. I do. And now everything has a time and a season. In life, it's like that. But long may it continue. And I'm grateful for the good things. Friends. And some people, of course, they have best friends. This is a friend of the family. And another thing that tied into all of this, I was praying, having my time before the Lord and just being quiet in his presence and letting him minister to my heart. And I reflected on the fact this verse came to my mind on the biblical character Abraham. And it says in Isaiah 41:8, but thou, God speaking, but thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Wow. Yeah. And again, James 2:23, and the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. And you see, we see God in this context sometimes that he's so big and so powerful that we're very weary of him. He's pure and spotless, and we do things wrong, and we get uncomfortable like Adam and Eve in the garden, hiding at times from him. But he cares. And it's like when you've fed the pigeons and they're coming down in the town centre, and you see they're very weary of the big adults making a sudden movement. And as for children coming in and running, they soon sort of off and come round again, try and get a bit more food, and the child's chasing after them. I've done it myself when I was a little one. But, how does one relate? How can one relate to them pigeons? Well, you become a pigeon, isn't it? Move amongst them. And that's what the incarnation is. Jesus becoming man, walking. And John says, he who we have seen, heard, touched the word of life, we declare to you. Yeah. And as I was there thinking on this, the realisation, I mean, I knew this all in my heart because I've been a born again Christian since 1982, but just in that quiet time of prayer, I was just thanking God that you're Jesus, you're my friend. And of course he is. And I'm his friend. And I've known him for many, many years. We share many things together. I open my heart on everything that's going on in the day, in life, in the family, everything that's going on. And sometimes I'm just quiet. I let him minister to me. Sometimes I'm more chatty. Sometimes I'll share a joke with him. Sometimes he does with me. You think, how can this be possible, Booker? I'm telling you it is. Jesus is my friend. And in John's Gospel 15:15, it says this, Jesus speaking, henceforth, from this time forth, I call you not servants, for the servant doesn't know what his Lord does, but I've called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I've made known to you. And a friend shares, isn't it? And friends, you share from the heart with those friends in a deeper circle, as it were. You share with them. And of course, I'll leave you with this particular thought of a great verse in two parts, Proverbs 18:24. A man, this is the first part, a man that has friends must show himself friendly. Now, here's the thing. we enjoy naturally being with friends. It's not a hard thing. Oh, there's a get together with so-and-so. Oh, yeah, great, so-and-so there, so-and-so there. Oh, great. Because they're all our friends. It's not a hard task to gather with your friends, sit down and have a meal and have a barbecue, sit in the back garden. It's not hard. It's very enjoyable, relaxing. Even if not much is said. Just enjoying each other's company. But you've got to show yourself friendly. Now, in some cases in life, I've noticed a man or a woman, they've got the circle of friends, and then they may have a new wife or husband, and suddenly they drop everyone because they want to please the wife or husband, who may be a bit, don't want them to go off. And the snag with that is the friends are dropped. And they'll only take so much of that. They may forgive it the first time, second time, but if they keep doing it, no. This person is selfish and they only want me for themselves in that sense when it's right for them. And people detect it. So a man that has friends will show himself friendly. And it's natural. It's natural. And to close with, and there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. Brothers are close, but in Christ there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And with that, I'll see you all, my friends. And when you like got that heart, a big heart, it's not just, look, I'm just going to be friends with my wife and my kids and relatives and my odd one friend, and that's all I can cope with. Everyone else away with you. No, do you have a heart that's big? You want to gather in everyone to, yes. It's the way I am. Yeah. So, my friends, love and peace to each one of you. God bless you all. And be seeing you